Welcome. This is a product overview of ComplianceForge's NIST 800-171 compliance program, which we call the NCP. Over the next few minutes, we will walk through what it is, what problems it solves, exactly what is included, and why this documentation is called battle-tested. The NCP is editable NIST 800-171 and CMMC compliance documentation that is DIBCAC battle-tested, compliance-focused policies, standards, procedures, system security plan and plan of action and milestones templates, and more. It is an affordable solution designed to be efficient, scalable, and business-friendly, and it includes 1 year of product updates to keep you current on evolving compliance requirements. If you handle controlled unclassified information for a U.S. government contract, NIST 800-171 and CMMC 2.0 are not optional. And a thin or improvised system security plan is exactly what gets flagged in an assessment. Could you hand a CMMC third-party assessment organization a complete, mapped documentation set today, or would you be scrambling? Building it from a blank page is a slow and risky process when an assessment is on the line. The NCP gives you a running start. Editable policies, standards, procedures, and system security plan and plan of action and milestones templates, aligned to NIST 800-171 and CMMC 2.0 that have survived actual DIBCAC and C3 PAO assessments. The NCP is designed to get you roughly 80 to 90% of the way there. ComplianceForge did the heavy lifting. You just tailor the documentation for your environment, with the information that only you know, the resources you have, the people to assign procedures to, and the technologies in place. There is a right way and a wrong way to write cybersecurity documentation. As shown in this swim lane diagram, the hierarchical cybersecurity governance framework is the ComplianceForge reference model that sets the standard for cybersecurity and data privacy documentation structure. This model creates an approach to architecting documentation that is concise, scalable, and comprehensive. When that is all laid out properly, your documentation is hierarchical and linked from policies all the way through metrics. The NCP is battle-tested. ComplianceForge's clients have successfully passed DIBCAC and C3 PAO assessments with this documentation. You receive a lifetime license to use the NCP at your company, and the purchase price includes 1 year of updates. And the NCP comes with 3 versions included with purchase. An R2-only version for organizations focused entirely on NIST 800-171 Revision 2. An R3-only version for organizations focused on Revision 3. And a combined version for organizations addressing both revisions during the DoD transition period. So what exactly is the NCP? It is a collection of editable Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint templates. These are professionally written documents that you customize for your specific environment. It is designed for small to medium businesses that need a focused approach to NIST 800-171 and CMMC compliance. It provides coverage for all controlled unclassified information controls and non-federal organization controls found in Appendix E of NIST 800-171, plus the assessment objectives from NIST 800-171 Alpha. Given that coverage, the NCP also provides the necessary coverage for CMMC levels 1 and 2, as well as the DFARS clauses, FAR 52, 204, 21 and 27, Section 889, and ITAR. The NCP includes the Cybersecurity and Data Protection Program policies and standards, the Cybersecurity Standardized Operating Procedures, a System Security Plan template, a Plan of Action and Milestones template, the Third-Party Risk Management Program, and a NIST 800-161 aligned Supply Chain Risk Management Plan, added for Revision 3 coverage. The NCP has mapped coverage for NIST 800-171 Revision 2, 800-171 Alpha, Revision 3, and 800-171 Alpha, Revision 3. The DFARS 252, 204, 70 series, FAR 52, 204, 21, 25, and 27. CMMC 2.0, Levels 1 and 2, and dozens of other laws, regulations, and frameworks through the Secure Controls Framework mappings. The NCP is a one-time purchase of editable Microsoft Office-based documentation templates. There is no software to install, no agent to deploy, no account to provision, and no cloud environment to configure. If your organization can open and edit Microsoft Office files, the NCP is ready to use. It is delivered as fully editable Word, Excel, and PowerPoint files, compatible with Microsoft 365, OpenOffice, LibreOffice, and Google Workspace. The PowerPoint is used for executive briefings. Documentation is delivered via email download link within 1 to 2 business days of purchase. There is no installer, no license server, and no activation step. A lifetime license to use the NCP at your organization is included with purchase, plus the first year of updates. After the first year, an optional update subscription is available to stay current with NIST 800-171 and CMMC changes. This deployment model is intentional. Compliance documentation benefits from being in your organization's own hands, inside your own document management systems, rather than locked inside a vendor's SaaS tool. Once delivered, the NCP belongs to you. ComplianceForge listened to customers and created the NCP based on the growing demand from small and medium businesses that want a simplified approach to NIST 800-171 and CMMC compliance. Both the policies and standards document and the procedures document have footnotes to clearly identify which NIST 800-171, 800-171 Alpha, or CMMC requirement is addressed. The NCP addresses 4 problems. The first is a lack of in-house security experience. Most smaller contractors lack expertise in NIST 800-171, and tasking your managers, IT personnel, or security staff to research and write comprehensive documentation is not a wise use of their time. Most small contractors cannot afford tens of thousands of dollars in consultant fees, so the NCP is designed with affordable compliance in mind. The second is compliance requirements. NIST 800-171 is a reality for companies in scope for DFARS and FAR. The NCP gives you everything you need to comply, from policies to standards to procedures to templates for your system security plan and plan of action and milestones. The third is audit failures. Without being able to demonstrate compliance with NIST 800-171, your organization will likely lose government contracts. It is as simple as that. The NCP is a tool that can jumpstart your organization towards being compliant. And the fourth is vendor requirements. It is very common for clients and partners to request evidence of a security program, and that includes policies and standards. The NCP can provide this evidence. The NCP is a bundle of editable documentation templates designed to save your organization hundreds of hours in labor. It addresses the 14 sections of CUI from NIST 800-171 Revision 2, as well as the non-federal organization controls from Appendix E and the 17 sections of CMMC 2.0 that overlap. Most people forget or ignore the NFO controls component, which is a basic expectation of being compliant, but the NCP includes NFO, CUI, and CMMC requirements. The first outcome is clear documentation. The NCP comes in editable Microsoft Office format, so it is customizable for your needs. The second is time savings. The savings are immense compared to writing something equivalent yourself or hiring a consultant to write it for you. The third is alignment with leading practices. The NCP has direct mapping to NIST 853, ISO 27002, the NIST Cybersecurity Framework, NIST 800-160, and the Secure Controls Framework, allowing one investment to satisfy multiple framework requirements. And the fourth, it is DIBCAC and C3PAO battle-tested. This documentation has been used successfully by multiple companies during real assessments to generate the artifact documentation needed to demonstrate conformity with NIST 800-171 and CMMC. And one recommendation: make yourself a pot of coffee and familiarize yourself with the CMMC kill chain, since you really need a prioritized plan to address these requirements. So what do you actually receive? Here is a look at the content of the NCP, the editable documentation set that is delivered to you. Purchase includes a single entity lifetime license and the first year of updates. The NCP is a collection of several editable Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint templates. First, cybersecurity policies and standards specific to NIST 800-171 and CMMC 2.0 Level 2 with updated coverage for both Revision 2 and Revision 3, mapped to the assessment objective level of 800-171 Alpha. Cybersecurity standardized operating procedures specific to NIST 800-171 and CMMC 2.0 Level 2. A system security plan template, a plan of action and milestones template, and a risk assessment worksheet and report template to perform a risk and threat assessment using Microsoft Word and Excel. And a third-party risk management program template to efficiently govern external service providers, plus a supply chain risk management plan added for Revision 3 coverage. The NCP also provides coverage for related compliance requirements found in the DFARS 252, 204, 70 series, FAR 52, 204, 21 and 27, and Section 889, and ITAR, and it comes with a considerable number of reference documents and other templates, a risk catalog, a threat catalog, an evidence request list, an incident response plan template, a business impact analysis template, a business continuity and disaster recovery template, data classification and handling guidelines, data retention guidelines, rules of behavior, mobile device usage guidelines, risk management guidelines, system hardening guidelines, and more. Now compare that against the two alternatives for obtaining quality cybersecurity documentation. For your internal staff to generate comparable documentation, it would take them an estimated 900 internal staff work hours, which equates to a cost of approximately $84,500 in staff-related expenses. That is about 6 to 12 months of development time where your staff would be diverted from other work. If you hire a consultant to generate this documentation, it would take them an estimated 800 consultant work hours, which equates to a cost of approximately $222,000. That is about 6 to 10 months of development time for a contractor to provide the deliverable. The NCP is approximately 6% of the cost for your internal staff and approximately 3% of the cost for an external consultant to generate equivalent documentation. The NCP itself is $5,200. PDF examples of the policies and standards, the procedures, the system security plan template, the crosswalk mapping, and the plan of action and milestones template are all available on the product page, so you can evaluate the quality and structure before you buy. So how much work is left for you? Here is the customization process at a glance. ComplianceForge aims for approximately an 80% solution because it is impossible to write a 100% cookie-cutter document that can be equally applied across every organization. ComplianceForge did the heavy lifting, and the remaining work is fine-tuning the documentation with the specific information that only your organization knows. In practice, customization is filling in the blanks, adding your company name and logo, which ComplianceForge applies for you before delivery, tailoring parameters such as system inventory references, naming specific owner roles, populating the system security plan with your CUI environment specifics, and removing sections that do not apply to your organization. If you want a hand, ComplianceForge offers optional professional services. They are not required to customize ComplianceForge documentation. The 5-hour bundle may be beneficial for companies that need some guidance on getting started with how to tailor their documentation. The 10-hour bundle is for companies that need additional guidance on tailoring their documentation to meet their compliance requirements. And the 20-hour bundle is for companies that need robust services beyond just 10 hours to assist in tailoring their documentation. Purchased professional service hours expire 120 days, or 4 months, from the time of purchase if unused. Hours are intended to supplement, not replace, your own customization work. There are more reasons to buy. The first is revision coverage. The NCP includes complete coverage for both NIST 800-171, Revision 2, and Revision 3 in a single purchase. Revision 3 was released on May 14, 2024, with significant changes, and OMB requires organizations to adopt the most current version of NIST 1 year after its release. The NCP saves you from rewriting documentation during the transition by providing the controls for both revisions side by side. You can ensure coverage for both revisions by implementing what is in the NCP. Focus only on Revision 2 and CMMC 2.0 by deleting Revision 3 specific controls. Or focus only on Revision 3 by deleting Revision 2 specific controls. The NCP also provides coverage for the DoD-provided organization-defined parameters criteria and addresses changes associated with 32 CFR Part 170 and updated CMMC Level 2 scoping guidance. This documentation has been used successfully by multiple companies during DIBCAC and C3PAO assessments to efficiently and effectively generate the necessary artifact documentation. This battle-tested documentation includes the necessary policies, standards, procedures, system security plan, plan of action and milestones, incident response plan, and other documentation that are expected to exist to successfully pass a third-party assessment. And the Excel crosswalk spreadsheet maps the standards to the controls and assessment objectives, so it is straightforward to understand why a requirement in the NCP exists. As a visual, here's how the NCP, as policies, control objectives, standards, and guidelines link through to the procedures, with control frameworks directly linked to the documentation hierarchy. The NCP was specifically written to address all NFO and CUI controls in NIST 800-171 Revision 2, as well as CMMC 2.0 Level 2 Advanced Controls. It is ComplianceForge's targeted solution for organizations preparing for Level 2 assessments under the new 32 CFR Part 170 Final Rule. CMMC evolved from 5 levels to 3 levels. If you store, transmit, or process controlled unclassified information, then you are CMMC 2.0 Level 2 Advanced. The NCP is specifically designed as the easy button for that level. ComplianceForge took existing documentation and pared it down for smaller organizations that do not need or want the complexity of NIST 853 when complying with NIST 800-171. Finally, work smarter and not harder. NIST 800-171 allows contractors to limit the scope of the CUI security requirements to those particular systems or components that store, process, or transmit CUI, isolating CUI into its own security domain by applying architectural design principles, like implementing subnetworks with firewalls or other boundary protection devices, may be the most cost-effective and efficient approach. Security domains may employ physical separation, logical separation, or a combination of both. Compliance here has some similarities to PCI DSS. If scoping is done poorly, the environment can encompass the entire network, which makes compliance prohibitively expensive, or even technically impossible. But when the network is intelligently designed with security in mind, the scope can be a small fraction of the network, making compliance much more achievable and affordable. ComplianceForge put together a CUI scoping guide to help companies identify what is in scope and potentially find ways to minimize scope through isolation or controlled access. The Unified Scoping Guide is available on the product page as a click-to-view example. If you have any questions, please email support@complianceforge.com or call 1-307-241-8740. We've been helping organizations since 2005, and we are always happy to help.